How do we start this?
We just always just start talking.
Okay, well, guess what? It's time for December Crown Straightener Energies
I'm
2025.
sorry. December?
I know.
WTF.
We've had 2
Jesus.
straight days of like just the white sky of cloud cover. And you know how much I like not leaving the house, but I'm like, I mean, the sun could come out.
Well, I'm in Asheville and it's 70 here today, so I'm super confused about what time of year it is.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's pretty
what?
warm.
Yeah.
That's nice though. I bet it's sunny there.
It was. The clouds have moved in a little bit, but yeah, it's always sunnier than Indiana.
Oh my God, poor Indiana. I just watched this. I sent this article to you guys about this guy who used to live in Italy. Like he's an American, but he maybe lived on the East Coast for a while, and then he lived in Italy for 3 years, and then he moved back to the United States. And for some reason, he decided to move to Indianapolis. And the whole article is about how it's the most American city
I saw that.
in America. And I'm watching Stranger Things, which takes place in Indiana. And so I was like looking up, why did the Duffer Brothers pick Indiana? And it was talking about Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which takes place in Muncie, and Breaking Away, because they grew up in the 80s and these are their favorite movies. And they were like, we just wanted like a place that was as just American as American can get. And I'm like, apparently I'm living in the most American of American places.
I'm like, I don't know what that actually says about anything because
The article is so funny. I just was cracking up reading it. It's so accurate. He's like, the canal is really pretty. It's like angular. And it's like, I don't know. So,
and it's like it's light filled, it's bright. It's not like
Yeah.
Venice where it's dark. I'm like, okay, buddy, like
he's like,
calm down.
the water is terrible. It's like the water is terrible, and yet they serve it at all the restaurants. It was really funny, actually. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the deck for our monthly December energies.
Yeah. All right, shuffling for December Crown Straightener. This will be our energetic advice on how to make the most of the month of December.
All right, so this is the 8 of Clubs, sure bet. And the 8 of Clubs, well, let's see. 8s are very powerful people who are 8s. So when the 8 comes up in like an oracle reading or in the cards, it's this indication that you have the power to accomplish what you want, to kind of push through to the end of the year, to kind of overcome like mental obstacles. That would be another way you could describe the 8 of Clubs, because clubs are the mental realm. And that's what we mean by the oracle meaning sure bet. Like the road is clear. There's even a road in the background of this card. The road is clear. It's like, just keep going. And it's basically, since it's the end of the year, it's basically like you have the power to wrap things up and kind of move through any obstacles that you need to. That's the basic meaning of this card. So Candy is going to connect into her higher self, who's going to connect into what we call the collective consciousness, about what might need to come forward to help us claim our crowns in the month of December. Maybe related to this card, maybe it goes off the rails. We don't know. We're going to find out.
Well, the first thing they're doing is they're doing the little snaps, like jazz snaps. They love the card. They love the alignment with the end of the year, and they love everything that you just said.
Yay.
I know. They're like, we could just stop there. I'm like, well, then that defeats the purpose of the
our
channel.
podcast can't be 3 minutes episodes.
No, it cannot. Minutes. Right. So now they're backing up. Boop, 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 and they're looking at what you said about the sherbet and how the path is clear. And they're reminding me of like almost like not gambling lingo, but the concept of gambling and the unknowns that exists around taking a gamble. And when you put power into things outside of yourself, like, oh, if I just won the lottery, my life would be better. Oh, if I just got this other job, my life would be better. Oh, if I just had like whatever, my life would be better. Like you're putting value on something outside yourself, when the only sure bet in life is betting on yourself, because you have control over your actions, your emotions, your thoughts. Even though at times it feels like all of those things are outside of your control, that's when you're kind of letting the energy run you, versus when you step into your power and your skills and you learn how to run the energy. Oh, I got chills.
Oh my God. Wait. Okay. Just like, I need to digest that for a second.
Me too, even though it came out of my mouth.
Okay. Well, wait. This reminds me of an article, which I know I sent myself, but I don't know if I sent it to you. Well, it wasn't an article, it was an Instagram post about how they just did this study at Harvard and they had people look at themselves in the mirror and tell their body, like, you are healthy. You are this. And like the results are insane.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I've seen other ones like that before. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it goes back to, oh, what was his name? The guy that did all the studies on water and like people
Oh,
talking to the water, the labels on the water.
is it Emoto?
Yeah, something like that. It's true. It's the same thing. Okay, so not letting the energy run us, learning to run the energy. Okay, so they're like looping back to that. Thank you. Um, they want us to understand that running the energy doesn't mean that we like hold tight to it and grip it, because energy has to be able to move, it has to be able to flow. So it's more about getting in alignment with it and feeling the ebbs and the flows of it. You know, like December is a great month for this because the peaks and valleys can be like really high and really low, because this holiday season can be really emotional for some people. Sometimes it goes perfectly the way you want, and the emotion's really high. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want, or you're missing something that you wish you had, or someone that you wish was in your life, and so it feels really low. So what they're saying about essentially harnessing the power of the energy is learning to ride the highs and learning what is best for you to get out of the lows. So when the energy is low, when you're feeling down, maybe when the month feels darkest, because it's also in the States where we have the winter, is it the solstice, the winter solstice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Days get short, darkness comes early. Like in those moments, it's a great time to journal, to self care, to let yourself not exert a lot of your energy, find ways to refill your tank. Think of the low moments as like a pit stop if you were in a race or on a road trip. Like sometimes you just have to stop and you have to put gas in the car and you have to get snacks and, you know, whatever. So that's what the low points are. When you're on the high, when the energy feels revved or amped, that's when you do the things that require a lot of energy. If you are a Christmas shopper, that's when you go Christmas shopping. If you like to decorate, that's when you decorate. If you want to do, you know, reach out to your friends and check in with them, then that's when you do that. So it's balancing your activities with where your energy level is. And that's what they mean by learning how to harness the power of the energy rather than running it, rather than allowing it to run you. Because sometimes we kind of get things backwards. And when we're feeling low or we don't have the energy, we try to force ourselves into activities because we think that that'll bring us out of it, when all it really does is sort of push us down farther into it. It might give us like a little spike in the moment, but we're just running the tank further on empty. And so we're just prolonging that kind of valley experience.
I mean, fuck yeah, because this is like, I feel like this is what I've been working on so hard, which you did a reading for me a little while back and they were like, just, you need to lie down sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember when I moved, I was really good right at the beginning. I would just be like, I feel tired. I need to lie down. And it's not napping. It's like a recharge. You just get quiet. I've even like stopped sometimes putting my eye mask on. I'm just like, lay down, let your body relax. Like physically, let your body relax. Let your mind relax as much as possible. I'm really terrible at that. But at least like I can feel my physical body and then I'll have like a big sigh or like a like twitch. And then I'm like, okay, I can get up now. And it's 5 to like 14, 15 minutes. That's it.
My God, they love it. They were snapping again. They're so happy for you today, Laura, because they, so the visual that they were showing me while you were saying that is, it's like charging your phone. You don't turn your phone off to charge it.
Right.
You leave your phone on. You just plug it in. You put it down and you leave it. And then when it gets charged, it like does this little vibrating thing, like fully charged. It lets you know. And then you unplug it and you get up and go about your day. So it's the same thing. When you're taking those breaks, you're just lying down to recharge. So you're not powering down to repair like sleep time. You're just lying down, resting to recharge. And they're like, resting can be like laying down, like Laura said. Resting could be going to a sauna. Resting could be turning on a show that you watched a million times so that your brain doesn't need to engage in it. And it's just sort of like allows the brain to slip into that wavelength of when you watch TV. It could be sitting on your pillow meditating. Like it could be any of those things where you stop the consumption in the brain and the engagement in the brain.
This is so good because this actually totally relates to the 8 of clubs. Because if you take the 8 power, the club mental, and I also just saw this post on Instagram that was about how people whose minds are constantly churning over what to do next. I mean, someone would say this is anxiety, but it's like this, and I can think of people that I know, and I know this because I used to be more like this than I am now, but it's like this constant churning over either conversations you've had in the past or ones you're going to have in the future, or the to-do list or the way to work out that problem. And you are wiping your energy out because your energy isn't just physical body, it's emotional, and it's the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and like the energy body or even the spiritual body. But it's like we think of you've got to work out and that's going to wipe you out. Well, that's going to wipe out your physical body. Hi, truck. But if you're churning your mind, you're still going to wipe your energy out.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like your phone. Your phone's just running itself all the time and wiping itself out.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like that way, like you said, to give your mind a rest. Some people might be needing to give their body a rest or both. But, when you watch TV, it puts you into the same brain waves as meditating.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it is, unless you're watching a stressful show, that's why they said watch something you've watched a million times so that you're relaxed while you're doing it. And you can sit there, but you could do meditation. You could do some breath work. You could take a little calm walk, not what do we call it? Sports walking.
Right. Right. Yeah. And what they don't want you to do is they don't want you playing games. They don't want you like doing puzzles. Like they don't want the brain engaged trying to solve a problem, because that is the problem. We are slowly starting to behave like computers behave, where we feel valuable when we're solving a problem, which sometimes means that we have to create the problem to solve.
Oh my God. Such creative busted.
On the nose. On the
Oh
nose.
God.
I think they might have been talking to me on that one.
Yeah. What problems are we creating in our minds today that I could solve?
Right, because I want a dopamine hit, so I want to solve a problem.
Oh my God, that is another layer of the meaning of the 8 of clubs. This came from like in the guidebook that goes with the cards, the deck you can buy. Here, it gives you all these meanings for the different parts of the cards, so the 8 of clubs and the sure bet, and then it gives you all these questions to reflect upon when you draw one of these cards or whichever card you draw. And so we're just like basically in this reading right now, just going through different variations of the meaning of the 8 of clubs.
Oh, yay.
So good job, Candy.
Yeah, well, good job, you guys. Well, I mean, I guess we did. It's all connected. It all comes from the collective soup.
Go team.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. And I think it's like, it's easy to get ahead of yourself. This is a problem I have, which is you're solving a problem you don't actually have right now. Or like you said, it's not even, sometimes it's creating a problem. Sometimes it's just creating more shit to do that doesn't need to be done.
For sure.
And so you could just kind of look at, where am I creating shit to do that I don't actually need to be doing right now?
Right. Yeah. Like if you really, I was going to say, if you really think that you need to do it, but they're like, you can't say that because that is the problem. You think. I was like, okay, so how can I say what you're trying to get me to say? If you feel as if there is a problem to be solved, what they want you to do is write it down and say, I will deal with this tomorrow, and see if it's still a problem tomorrow.
Oh my God. I know we've talked about this before, and I know it's completely out of PC living anymore. But I used to be obsessed with Gone with the Wind. And Scarlett would be like,
Yeah.
God, she would be like, I'll think about it tomorrow. After all, tomorrow is another day. And I like lived with that mantra for a long time. And it's really helpful because sometimes a sleep on that changes everything.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know how many problems I have created for myself, and then just like, okay, if this is really a thing, I'm just going to deal with it tomorrow. And then tomorrow rolls around. I was like, why the fuck was I even wasting time on that? That's the dumbest thing ever.
Well, you know what I've been doing lately? So we've talked about this before with like the whisper and the whisper training, where you create like a gauge and it has left and right. Like, well, it's like a gas gauge, but it's only half circle. And there's a lever in the middle. And you just kind of see yes on one side, no on the other. And then just you ask the question, let the gauge fall. But what I've changed it to lately is first two things. One is a red X and a green check mark, like emojis.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like kind of like let them pop into my head. I just close my eyes and think. Then the other one, which we've talked about a lot, which is like tuning into whatever this decision is or the problem that you think it is. And you're trying to feel, is the energy like full of life or is it gassed out? So I'm actually imagining those things at the like car parking lot, like the used car lots, the like balloon animals that are like, whoa.
Right.
So they're either like, it's either gas and there's like a celebration, there's like confetti and there's like a fucking horns blowing, or it's like the thing goes. So that is a really quick tune in that has helped me a ton. Being like, do I even need to be thinking about this right now? And just like let live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is maybe off topic, but I have a real quick bubble question for you to go in and ask your higher self to ask my higher self.
Ooh, okay.
So I was walking this morning and I walked right by just as these two people were walking out of this restaurant. And the one guy was like, I'll pray for you. He's like, I'm praying for you. She's like, I'm praying for you. And he's like, let the Lord lead you or something like that. And I was like, of course I rolled my eyes. But then I was like, okay, why did I hear that just 3-sentence phrase? I think I know why, but I'm going to ask you. I was like tuned in at the moment and I think I got to the answer, but I want to see what they say because I think it's related to this conversation we're having. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Okay. All right. So first they're laughing that you rolled your eyes. And then I'm trying to think how to say this. So there are all sorts of different ways that same intention could have been communicated. Just so happens that those two individuals are probably Christian, and that is how they communicated energetic support for one another and a reminder to follow the energy.
Yeah,
that's because essentially, and you know, like how we look at life, Laura and I, is you know, I don't think either one of us cares if you like what you believe in, as long as you feel supported in that belief and it lights you up and it makes you feel expansive and it brings an energy about that you can share with others, whether verbalized or not, that doesn't in some way hinder their ability to be their best self.
Right.
Well, I don't even know where all of that came from.
Well, okay, the other thing that's really funny about that is after my asshole human got over itself, and I think that's really coming from it's coming from like, well, the one time I was evangelized at the sauna, but it's also coming from like the politics and everything and the weeds that like the extremists are in. So like I immediately go to, oh my fucking God. But when I got past that, I was like, I felt the energy and I was like, oh my God, the energy was so supportive and so nice and so kind. And you could tell they really cared about each other and they were really supportive of each other. And it was just like, it felt so good. And then they were just reminding me, it's like, oh no, just they are by saying that, not the praying for each other part necessarily, but the second, whatever he said at the end, basically like let the Lord lead you. It's like follow the energy. I mean, it's exactly what you were talking about. So I was like, no,
Yeah.
that's what they were trying to say. Like that's what I just don't believe that there are such things. Like I believe that everything is, the universe is synced up. So if you accidentally overhear a conversation, I think it's really helpful to be like, I wonder why I heard that. Like, what am I supposed to be not really learning, but like seeing from that?
Right. It's
So I
because
always like to
Laura,
overanalyze everything.
we need you to ask Jesus to enter your heart right now, and I need you to repent.
Otherwise, you're going to hell. HE double hockey sticks is waiting for you. Yeah. That's the hard part because it's like you just have those human biases and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck off. And then I'm like, no, the energy was really nice. And they were just
Yeah.
really supportive of each other. And and then I was thinking about all the statistics about the people that are in like religious organizations and how they like live longer and they're happier. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's connection, it's community, it's
Yeah.
being around people that are like-minded. So yeah, no, they're like your take on it was exactly right. And they're like literally, if every human being could have that same approach when they hear people exchange religious sentiment, all of the wars would stop. Like the problem is if they would have said, like praise Allah or whatever, like then somebody who doesn't believe in that religious scripture, text, whatever, has a freak out. They're like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It's all energy. It all stems from the same place. You can look past how man
it's all
has
kind of trying
rewrote
to
it, but
explain the same thing in different ways. Yeah, totally.
exactly. That's why
Okay.
you're a sure bet.
That's why you're a sure bet.
Wrapping it up, they also, that one last thing, because it's December, they want you in this whole experience of betting on yourself, being a sure bet, they also want you to treat yourself as the gift that you are. And the gift that keeps on giving, not because you're giving to other people, but because you are giving your energy, sharing your energy with the world. So your imprint matters. You leave a mark just by being. Doesn't matter what you fucking do, just by being here.
All right, so we're adding a new segment. We're going to pull an oracle card for each of the suits. So if you don't know your suit, you can look it up on our website, rainworld.co. You'll find it.
/cards?
Yeah, /cards. You'll find it.
Yeah, go to the
there'll be a link
homepage
below. But you got to know your card, people. Come on.
Double diamond over here.
Candy's a double diamond. I'm a double club. You can look up your card and then find out, maybe even take our intro to cardology course. You'll find out your hand, and that's where you can find out your other card. But you can also watch our YouTube videos. So if you go to the cards in the menu, you'll see birthday videos, free YouTube videos for your birthday. And then you can actually find out both of your cards. You have a second card that's just as important. And if not, at least sometimes I think it's like more me than my main card, which is confusing. But it's kind of like with astrology, your sun, moon, rising. If you read those descriptions, you're like, those three are all me. It's a similar situation. Okay, so we're going to start with the hearts. The hearts,
which are emotional. They're the youngest suit of the deck. They can be childlike, which can be good or bad.
Okay, so we have a King of Spades card for the hearts. This is Bend, Don't Break. This actually is a similar energy to the Eight of Clubs, really. Like it's the strength of the King and the strength of the Eight are pretty similar. The Spade is probably more about taking action. And a lot of times for hearts, they can get caught up in their emotions. So one way out of that is to take an action. So if you're like over processing something emotionally, then take an action. Maybe it's just writing a list down or even taking a walk, but it's to process your way out. Like the Spades would ask you to like take steps forward. So this is just an additional message for hearts, in addition to the card we drew for the month for the collective.
Yeah.
Did you have anything to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when it
like
popped,
really excited about this.
I know when it popped in, they immediately like dropped the whole scenario right in front of me. So what they showed for the hearts, maybe you tend to get a little emotional around the holidays. Maybe you tend to throw a little bit of a fit at the family gathering. I don't know. if that is your MO, what they want you to do before the holiday gathering is see that fit happen. Set up the scenario in your head, watch it play out, throw the little fit in your head, feel it come up, feel it come out. They want you to observe yourself doing it. So you're going to watch it in your head like a movie, or you're going to hear all the sounds play out, or you're going to feel it in your body, or maybe all the things. Because what that does is that allows you to preemptively have the fit. You're really just throwing the fit because you've done it your whole life. And so now you get to disrupt that that energetic flow. Oh my God, it's where the energy just takes you over. We're coming right back to that. And you just step into it and you go with it. So you're going to do that on your own so that you don't say anything to anybody that you don't actually mean to say, and you don't ruin anybody else's holiday. And you're just going to then allow yourself to sit with all of that came up, and then grab a journal and just automatic write about all of it. So you're going to be able to do a little bit of your own clearing and maybe even a little bit of a soul retrieval. And then see how your holiday goes. Let us know.
That would be awesome. That makes sense because the hearts are probably the most likely to not be able to stop themselves from reacting to their emotion. And we sound like we're dogging on hearts, but the upside of a heart is that they are more childlike in a good way, where they're fun, they're playful, they love giving gifts, they're like compassionate. Okay, but we're just talking about the hard shit because the holidays are coming up. So
yeah, and that's hard shit.
And that's hard shit. So here we go. We're going to go to the clubs.
All right. So clubs are the teenagers, the adolescents of the deck. They're mental. They like to think about stuff. They're curious. They love information.
Okay. There's, how do I do this? There we go. Two of diamonds, co-create. So this card is, well, we picked co-create for two of diamonds because it's you and the universe, or you and your universe partnering to create your life. And the diamond is like, it's money, but it's also values. So what importance you place on your creation that you're making and what you're creating in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. I would say for the clubs, this is actually the part of the reflection of the end of the year. You're kind of looking back, what am I trying to co-create right now? And how did that work out this year? And what do I want to do next?
Yeah.
What came in?
Well, we'll see if this is a theme that they're going to share for all the suits, but they like took me like right to a holiday gathering, and they're like, clubs, sometimes you get a little excited and you sort of want to organize everybody participating in something. So maybe it's a game, or it's an exchange of some sort, or it's storytelling, whatever it is. They're like, rather than like taking over the energy and trying to like put the process in place to control the environment, because that's where you feel a little bit more comfortable, just pick one person and have a little, almost like a game with them. So maybe like you do a little puzzle, or you play a little card game, or, you have a little like 2-person game that you come prepared with, so that you get to exert that mental energy, but you're doing it one-on-one rather than trying to take over and control the entire party. So that'll allow you to like release that energy, and it will also allow you to kind of calm down and center in the space. You go to the like mental spot and the control spot because it's where you're most comfortable sometimes, maybe.
Oh, that makes sense. And the theme we're seeing right now with both these suits is figuring out a way to burn off the energy before the gathering, or in this case, kind of like while you're at the gathering, but having a plan ahead of time.
Yes.
So we'll see if that continues too.
We will see.
Burn off the specific suit energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
So diamonds, Candy.
Yes. Can't wait.
BRB. Okay. Two of hearts, another two. Okay, so this would be interesting, heart to heart. So two of hearts, we picked this because two people, heart, emotional, people, conversational. This would be the diamonds.
So they're the adults of the deck. Values. What's in it for, like, not what's in it for me, but like, where do you find value in something?
Yeah. So this Two of Hearts, and we even have a journal on here. Um, it's okay. What I'm kind of feeling, I don't know if this is harder for you to channel, but it's the diamonds are always trying to figure out how they can be valuable in any given situation. And what this is coming forward is find value in the one-on-one conversations you get to have during the holidays or during this month.
Yeah. I was getting the exact same thing. And
Yeah.
it's funny because it was harder at first because I immediately was like, oh my God, this is, my suit and this is the card. And how does that feel? But it was rather than trying to connect with every single person, it's just not possible. And then it's going to feel fake. And then that as a diamond is going to drive you insane because fake means that it's not of value. And that that's going to hit right in the heart. Like, oh my God, like I just wasted that person's time, or like, oh, I'm such a phony. Like then the self-talk starts. So just pick a person to have a meaningful conversation with, and you can even prep and plan in advance. Like, I'm going to talk to my cousin because they just went on an amazing trip and I want to hear all about it. And so just come prepared and then you can relax. And again, they're just talking about like burning off that energy of, for diamonds, I'm here. Like, it's like, I need to make sure that somebody feels that I'm valuable in this scenario. So you will make whoever you talk to feel incredibly important.
That's right. Exactly. What I was kind of sensing was like just holding space for someone and like really listening to them, because that's the other thing diamonds are. They're stable, they're supportive, they're the cheerleaders. So you can be that, but it can be for just one person and that's enough. And that's why
Yay.
it was a Two of Hearts and not the Eight of Hearts.
Right. You don't have to talk to
You'd be
everybody.
responsible to talk to 7 people. Good luck. All right, the Spades. Beep, beep, beep.
So spades, they're the elders, wisdom, physical, energy body. I mean, physical body. Like, how do you move energy in the physical body?
Yeah, and they're the action takers. So we have the Six of Clubs, my card. Follow the rules.
Oh, this is interesting.
All right, the 6 means you are kind of trying to balance something. And the club is the mental mindset. So it kind of feels like maybe you're not actually trying to follow the rules. We're taking more the Six of Clubs meaning, which is, well, I don't know, Candy, what's coming in?
It's odd. I'm not quite sure that I even understand what they're showing me yet. But what they were showing is, you know how in family gatherings around the holidays, usually that, at some point in your life, there's a grandparent or an elder, and they just sort of set up camp somewhere. And then like people at the gathering usually kind of come to them. So this is kind of the opposite almost of the other cards, whereas like moving in the physical space, you might have felt like you need to touch base with every single person. That what they want you to do is sort of take on that role of elder. And it's not that you're telling anyone what to do, it's that you're just holding kind of being steady in that energy that you bring into the space wherever it is that you end up. And you're very calm, you're very supportive, you're very encouraging, you're listening, maybe you're sharing some sage words, but you're actually not trying. And by you not trying, that will burn your energy, like holding the space, because you're, instead of putting that energy out, you're going to take it in and send it down.
Ground the energy down for the people in the room, which will make them feel balanced, which is what sixes do for other people. And the club would be the communication. So it's like the energy I'm feeling, the difference between what the spades got and what the diamonds got is that the spades they're getting a club. So they're getting this idea of the actual exchange of mental thoughts and words. Whereas the heart is connection at the heart level.
Yeah.
So when you're saying like you're kind of sitting and like people are kind of coming to you, it's just these will be little, maybe quick exchanges. They might not be like the in-depth heart to heart that the diamond is looking to have over this holiday period, but you're actually like, you can quickly ground the energy by just a quick chit chat with someone. It doesn't have to be an in-depth conversation. That totally makes sense.
What they keep
Amazing.
showing me is like my grandma Passmore, who has since passed, but like when she got up there in years, she would just sort of like sit in a spot at a holiday gathering, and then we would kind of all like not take turns by like organize anything, but it would just sort of happen. Like different people would sort of come up and sit down or like share something with her. And I just remember she didn't always say a lot, but sometimes there would just be like a hand pat. Like she would just put her hand on top of mine. And that's like, it was like so much energy shared in that hand pat. So for the Spades this holiday, it could be that simple of an action, that just by touching someone's hand or leg or shoulder, that you're just like grounding them and sharing energetic wisdom.
Awesome. Okay. I think that wraps up the December energies. So thanks for listening, and share this with your friends.
Yes.
That wraps this episode of One Card Shy. Did you love it? Leave us a review, share it with your friends, and sign up for our monthly crown straightener. Bonus, you'll get our free Claim Your Crown guide when you subscribe.
And be sure to find us on Instagram and check out our website. Both are rainworld.co. All the links are below. See you next time, Queens.